We're here today to celebrate the 50th birthday of Sylvia Heron. So in this segment, I'd like to present 50 nifty things about Sylvia, a collection of random thoughts. Happiest 50th birthday, Sylvia. Sylvia was born on March 6, 1959, in Woodstock, Ontario, the home of the Springbank Snow Countess, world champion butterfat producer. As an infant, she showed her adventuresome nature. At that time, she had her sister Monica and 4 rambunctious brothers. By 1966, that family had grown to include 11 children. She once sent me this postcard questioning how well adjusted our family really was. I think the following pictures will answer that question for her. How many families can stand in a rock in the middle of the Badlands? Or have somebody who can pose with her imaginary friends? This family can't even form themselves into a number, but a whole lot of them can fit in the back of a pickup truck. Sylvia celebrated many Christmases with her family, not only in Woodstock, but also in Alberta and in Saskatchewan. She's participated in many family weddings, such as being a bridesmaid for her sister-in-law Colleen, or also for her sister Brenda. At family fashion shows, Sylvia shows off her chic ensemble. Sylvia would always send me her school pictures to show her progression through high school while she was in Woodstock. I am very proud of Sylvia's academic accomplishments, first obtaining her bachelor's degree from the University of Alberta and then her master's from UVic. You all know how artistic Sylvia is. Here's a postcard she sent us at Christmas. You'll note that it is addressed to Bill, Colleen, Alyssa, and Zeke. Zeke wasn't our son, but our dog. Alyssa had a great time playing with him. But we all know that Sylvia is a cat person. So here she is with some of her cats at Pacina. Speaking of Pacina, I really enjoyed my visit out there last summer, where I learned how to clean the lighthouse lens, wait for helicopters, and go beachcombing. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're here to talk about how Sylvia came from this young girl in Woodstock to become this sophisticated international traveler and sailor extraordinaire. Note, she still has those skinny legs. After Sylvia left home in Woodstock and went to school for a bit in Ontario, she came out to Lethbridge to live with us. We had many trips to the Rocky Mountains, the first being with Colleen's brother John. We went from Edmonton to Lethbridge via Jasper, Banff, and Crow's Nest, camping all the way. We went on many ski trips, one I remember with my young daughter and son, who was a great time. Then we started to get many postcards from lots of interesting places. After that, she moved up to Edmonton. We went up to visit her and spent Christmases and family reunions together. Then one day, we got this postcard from Vancouver Island. Looks like she planned to stay there for a while. My first international trip was to visit Sylvia in Thailand while she was doing her master's. It left me with great memories and a desire to travel and work internationally. Then more postcards, these with Sylvia's own travel pictures. One theme that kept coming back was the Badlands. Maybe she was attracted to that cowboy country and the many brandings and other family events there. There were the people at the reunions and also the beauty of the Red Deer River Valley. And she kept coming back to this country to visit with her many cousins in that area, with at aunts' dinners and other events. This brings us to the Cultus Connection, the family history book compiled by our aunts. In it there was a story of a trip that our great-grandparents took from Medicine Hat to Lake Winnipeg. With a fanfare of media attention, she embarked on this similar voyage in a homemade boat in the summer of 2000. Our cousin Cheryl and I joined them for the first few days on the South Saskatchewan River, and then a few months later picked them up at Grand Rapids, Manitoba. While there, Sylvia and I went to visit the Fisher River Reserve in hopes to find more about the time that our grandmother spent there as a child. I was amazed at the welcome we received once we mentioned that we were relatives of Pepanicus. After the family reunion in 2006, Sylvia and I decided to take a camping trip to the mountains. We camped near Elbow Falls and hiked to the top of a mountain before having to return to work. As you already know, Sylvia always enjoyed being on the water, like here on Waterton Lake or on the many canoe trips on the Red Deer River. On one trip to Victoria, Sylvia took us sailing on her Cal 20 in Oak Bay. It was an incredible day on the water.
It was always so neat to tell my friends and acquaintances about Sylvia's sailing trips across the Pacific. And of course, there was more postcards from even more exotic locations. When Sylvia returned from New Zealand, my son Wilson and I drove all the way from Regina to Vancouver just to pick her up at the airport. We had a great time visiting with Monica and playing beach bowling. Sylvia has always been a great aunt. One Christmas she spent at our place, Sylvia cooked a salmon and replaced the eyes with cranberries. When the kids asked her if you could eat the eyes, she popped one in her mouth and said they were delicious. That really grossed out the nieces and nephews. Not only is a super aunt for Alyssa and Wilson, but also for Carrie, Michelle, and their children. She probably learned how to be a super aunt from her aunts. I know that she didn't appreciate the nickname of Silverweed, coined by her mean brothers, but at least they were paying attention to her. But she knows how to get out of tight spots, make off like a bandit, deserve all the presents she gets, is never late for dinner, has a great collection of eclectic friends, so you can be the judge whether Sylvia comes from a well-adjusted family. But one thing is for sure, as you can see from this picture of her pulling a wagon, it showed that her determination and willingness to work for her adventures had developed early in life. So thanks, Sylvia, for being such a great sister to all of us. So let's keep on having all these great adventures well into the future. Happy 50th birthday, Sylvia. Your loving brother, Bill.